Hare Krishna. So today's class, we're going to talk about some of the secrets from Valmiki Ramayana. How many of you are interested in hearing this? Secrets from Valmiki Ramayana. I'm going to tell you some really secret stories that you would have never heard. Are you ready? If you're ready, type ready in the chat. Type ready in the chat if you're ready for that. Type ready. All right. Hare Krishna. Welcome all of you. Dhanavad pranams to all of you. So we're going to hear something very interesting today. That is, we're going to hear the pastimes of Lord Ramachandra. And it's going to be really interesting because these are some of the pastimes that are literally nobody talks about these pastimes. They're so secretive. Okay. So let's start with the prayers. And let's start with the prayers. And let's start with Om Agyanatimirandhasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pasyacha Deshatarine Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamnit Namne Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pasat Destarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. All right, Hari Bol. Okay, so let's start. Let's start with a wonderful story of Lord Ramachandra. Okay, so now, first of all, let's start with some of the basics. Who wrote Ramayana? Can anybody say who is the author of Ramayana?
Valmiki.
You know, the word Valmiki, okay, it's coming from the Sanskrit word called Valmika. Valmika means ant hills. So that means he was doing so much of austerity that there were ant hills around him. Okay. So because there were so many ant hills around him, he was called Valmika. Valmika means there are so many ant hills around him. So what was the situation under which he had to do that? So let us hear that. So there is this pastime of Ratnakar. This is a famous pastime. It's a well-known pastime. So there was a dacoit or a hunter by the name Ratnakara. All right. And then this Ratnakara, he used to be hunting. Okay. And he used to bring the food home. All right. And then what happened was one day, Narada meets him and then tells him, do you know that you are accumulating a lot of sinful activities? Then he says, I don't mind because I'm doing it for my family and my family is ready to share all of that with me. And then he says, why don't you find out? Why don't you go and ask your family? And then he goes to his family and asks them, you see, there was this Rishi, Narada, he told me that the sinful reactions of killing animals, hunting, I have to take all of that. Are you ready to take a division of it? And then they said, you see, we are ready to take whatever you are going to bring home, including the flesh of the animals, but not the sinful activities. We're not going to take the sinful activities. So that was like the turning point for Ratnakara, that he started thinking that, okay, I'm accumulating a lot of sinful reactions now. So he runs back to Narada and asks him, what should I do now? And he says, you start chanting these names of Lord Ramachandra. So these names of Lord Ramachandra are very special. Okay. So what is the speciality of Lord Ramachandra's names? So let us discuss that and then come back to the story. You see, Harer Nama Eva Kevalam. Kalau Nasteva Gatiranyatha. That means the names of the Lord Hari, Vishnu, Ramachandra, these names are so powerful that they are the only shelter for all the living entities of Kali Yuga. That's why it is said 3 times, Kalau Nasteva Gatiranyatha. That is about the names of Lord Vishnu. Now, how do you understand the name of Lord Rama? You see, Narada is asking Valmiki to chant the names of Rama. So why is he telling him to chant the names of Rama? What is the speciality of this name Rama? So the name Rama, Ramayati iti Ramaha. Ramayati iti Ramaha. That means Rama is the one who is the enjoyer, who is the supreme enjoyer. He is Rama. He is the Lord Rama. Another verse which comes from Padma Purana, which says, Ramante yogino anante satyanande chidatmani iti Rama padanesho param brahma vidiyate. That means the mystics derive the unlimited transcendental pleasures from the absolute truth, and therefore the supreme absolute truth, the personality of Godhead, is known as Rama. How many of you got that? So type in the chat SPOG, Supreme Personality of Godhead. Rama means Supreme Personality of Godhead. I'll explain this. Ramante yogino anante. Ramante yogino anante. That means, you see, the pleasure that we get in this material world, right? So that pleasure is called Jada Ananda. Okay, Jada Ananda means pleasure that is coming from the dead senses. The senses are like dead senses. It's not like the best, it's not the best Ananda. It's considered to be very inferior Ananda. Whereas we're talking about Ramante Yogino Anante. Ramante means they enjoy. That means the mystics, they are enjoying so much. Anante means unlimitedly they are enjoying. Satyanande Chidatmani. That means in the unlimited transcendental pleasures, they are taking from the absolute truth. Absolute truth. So that is the definition of Rama. Iti Rama Padaneshau. This is the definition of Rama. Param Brahma Vidiyate. That means it is indicating Param Brahma. That is the supreme personality of God at Parabrahma, the supreme absolute truth. Rama indicates the supreme absolute truth. Okay. Type Rama in the chat if you got that. Okay. Type Rama in the chat. I'll tell you one more verse. This is a very famous verse. Okay. Lord Shiva told to Parvati Devi, he said, Shri Rama Rama Rameti Rame Rame Manorame Sahasra Nama Tatulyam Rama Nama Varanane. So what does that mean? It means Lord Shiva addressed his Durga Devi, his wife, as Varanana. Varanane. He's saying Varanana. When you're calling somebody, it becomes Varanane. And explain, I chant the holy name of Rama, 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 and thus enjoy this beautiful sound. The holy name of Ramachandra is equal to 1,000 holy names of Lord Vishnu. How many of you chant Vishnu Sahasranama here? Type me in the chat. How many of you chant Vishnu Sahasranama or ever chanted Vishnu Sahasranama before in your life? Type me in the chat. So Vishnu Sahasranama is 1,000 names of Lord Vishnu. Type 1,000 in the chat. Let me see. Type 1,000. Vishnu Sahasranama. Sahasranama means 1,000 names of Lord Vishnu. 1,000 names of Lord Vishnu is equivalent to one name of Lord Rama. So Rama, when you say Rama, it is equivalent of reading the entire Vishnu Sahasranama once. Just saying once. You don't even need to say 3 times. So that's the speciality of Rama mantra. All right. So let us see. So what happened? How was Lord Ramachandra born? Okay. Lord Ramachandra was born. Dashrath Maharaj, he had, how many wives did Dashrath Maharaj have? Can anybody put in the chat? Let's see. Let's take out some of the secrets from Ramayana now. How many wives did Dashrath Maharaj have? Type in the chat. Let me see how many of you know this. 2, 3, 2, 3. It's wrong. It's not even, it's not 2, it's not 3. Yeah, it's hundreds of wives, hundreds. So he had hundreds of wives. He had so many wives. You know why? You know why he had so many wives? I'll tell you one secret. Ask me why. Type why in the chat. Yes, he had hundreds of wives. Yeah, he had hundreds of wives. Yeah, ask me why. Why so many wives? Okay. What's the reason for marrying so much? Right? So many wives. All right. So I'll tell you the secret. The secret is, the reason is, all of you know Parashuram, right? Incarnation of the Supreme Personality of God. Parashuram, he was determined to completely vanquish the Kshatriya clan, from wipe out the Kshatriyas from the universe. So he successfully did that how many times? How many times? How many generations of Kshatriyas did Parashurama kill? Type in the chat. Let me see how many if you get that. 21. That's right. 21 generations of Kshatriyas were eliminated by Parashurama. 21 generations. So, but then he just had one thing, that if somebody is getting married, he said, okay, I'll not kill them. Let us say if he's coming to kill someone to the palace, and if he sees that that king is getting married, at that point of time, then he will not go and fight with that king. Now that Dashrath Maharaj knew this, what would Dashrath Maharaj do? Every time when Parshuram Bhagwan came for attacking, every time Lord Parshuram came for attacking Ayodhya, tell me what did he do? Everybody got that now. Yes. He was getting ready for the match. Yeah. He was getting married, right? Every time he's getting married. So like that, he married many, many wives. All right. So the principal wives were Kaushalya and Kaikeyi and Sumitra. Kaushalya, Kaikeyi and Sumitra. Okay, let's discuss how these 4 brothers were born. Okay, let's discuss this pastime. This is very interesting pastime. So for the sake of getting a son, okay, so Dashrath Maharaj, he did one fire sacrifice called Putra Kameshti. It's a Ishti, means it's like a fire sacrifice. There are so many fire sacrifices which are mentioned in the Vedas. Some of them or most of them are related to fruitive activities, karma kanda. That means if you do this fire sacrifice, you're going to get something. So like that, he did a fire sacrifice called the Putra Kameshti for the sake of getting very nice sons. So when he did that fire sacrifice, okay, what happened was, like, all the demigods were discussing in that fire sacrifice who had come there. Okay, at that point of time, they had this Ravana. Okay, Ravana was a very, very powerful demon. And then he was the grandson of Pulastya. How many of you know that? Pulastya is a great sage, Pulastya. Okay, he was a grandson of this great sage called Pulastya. And then they were all discussing how to get rid of this guy. Yeah, Nitya Mataji, why didn't Parshuram didn't kill the kings who were getting married? Because like they were getting married, right? I mean, who wants to kill somebody who's getting married, right? Somebody is getting married and he doesn't want to do that. He wants to fight with the warriors. When they're ready, they will fight. So one of the rules of the warfare is the person must be ready to fight. So he will challenge the Kshatriyas and he'll say, come and fight. So a Kshatriya cannot deny that I will not fight. A Kshatriya can't say that. But if he's in a marriage, he can say, yeah, I'm sorry, I'm busy. I'm busy in the marriage rituals. I'll fight with you later. It's like that. Okay, so coming back to the story here, Ravana had to be defeated, and this Ravana had a boon that he cannot be defeated by either by the demigods or the demons or Gandharvas or Kinnaras or Kimpurushas or Vidyadharas or Charanas or anybody except human beings and Vanaras. That is ape men. Apes and humans, he did not have immunity because he considered them that they can never be able to defeat me. So in that confidence, he did not ask for these two. And we all know Lord Vishnu, the Supreme Lord, is very, very intelligent. He knows how to find out the loophole, right? So he exactly knows what is the loophole. The loophole right now for that boon is that he can be killed. He cannot be killed by anybody except Vanaras and human beings. Nara and Vanara, human beings and the ape men. So Lord was there. All the demigods were discussing there. They were discussing, what do we do now? Whom should we approach? Who is going to protect us? So they all go and rush to the Shvetadvipa, Lord Vishnu, and then they pray to him. And then they pray for protection. And then Lord Vishnu says that I shall be born very soon. Okay. And he says to the demigods, okay, all of you right now, before I am born, I want all of you to be born in the families of the Vanaras, the ape men. So first of all, the ape men, that is like the Vanara families or the monkey families, all the demigods were born. Okay, you know Sugriva and Vali. You know this brother Sugriva and Vali? Okay, type in the chat, which demigod is Sugriva? Type in the chat. Let me see how many of you get this. He is one of the chief demigods. Sugriva was who? And who was Vali? Vali was, which demigod was Vali? Vali was,
Prabhuji,
yeah, tell me.
what if there wasn't a loophole? What if Ravana wished that even Vanaras can't kill him or humans can't kill him?
Then
What
Lord is very intelligent. He
if
knows
there
how to
wasn't
kill.
a
For example, Bali Maharaj, he was not to be killed by anybody. Okay, so Bali Maharaj, of course, he was a devotee. Then Lord Vishnu, he comes and asks for a donation. He says, can you give me a donation? And then he defeats him. Okay, Madhu Kaitaba, I'll tell you one example. Madhu Kaitaba, they were very strong. And Lord Vishnu found them very, very powerful. So then he fought with them for a long time. And then he said, you're fighting very amazingly well. And he says, ask me for some boons. I'm ready to give you some boons. Okay. And then they say, this is a trick. Okay. This is a trap. And for that, they'll fall to the trap. They say, why should I ask you for boons? You ask me for boons. He says, okay, I'm asking you for boon. Die in my hands. Finished. So Lord Vishnu is very intelligent, and the supreme personality of Godhead. We don't know. I mean, he's very intelligent. He can do anything. Okay. Mare Krishna, Rakhe Krishna, Mare Ke. When the Supreme Lord decides that a person should die, nobody can protect him. And when Lord decides that this person has to be alive, nobody can kill him. So that's the rule. So he can get things done. All right. So coming back to the story, all the demigods are praying to Lord Vishnu, and Lord Vishnu said, okay, all the demigods, you will all go and you will be born in the family of the monkeys first. Okay. And Sugriva and Nala, Neela, all of these, Hanuman, all of them are demigods who were born in the family of monkeys. And then when this fire sacrifice was happening, there was a very divine personality who came out of that fire sacrifice, and then he brought out a cup of kheer, a cup of kheer. Okay, now let us see how the division was done. This cup of kheer, it was not given to all the 350 wives, or how many ever hundreds of wives Dasharatha had. Don't ask me why, I have no clue. But the three wives got the opportunity to take this kheer, and I'll tell you how the division was done. Okay, so I want you to take a paper and a pen, okay, so that you understand this well. Take a paper and a pen. Okay, this is a little bit technical, little mathematical. All right. Okay. So first, what he did was, okay, here is a cup of kheer. Okay, here is a cup of kheer. Okay, make it into half. That is like 50%. So 50%, he gave it to Kaushalya. Okay, I'm going to ask you some questions. Okay, a little bit mathematical class now. All right. It's going to become a maths class for some time. Okay, 50% he gave it to Kaushalya. And then he divided the rest of the 50% into two. So 25% and 25%. Correct? And then this 25% was given to Sumitra. I'm going to ask you questions. Okay, be ready with your paper and pen. Okay, Sumitra was given 25%. All right. Now, here is the first question. How much kheer is remaining? How much percentage is remaining? Can anybody say that?
25%?
25%. That's right. Absolutely. That's good. Okay. Lakshit Prabhu got it right. 25% is remaining now. All right. So now that 25% that was remaining, it was again made it into two halves. It was made into two halves. So how much is that? Half of 25%, the remaining.
12.5.
Yeah, 12.5%. And then this 12.5%, one part was given to Kaikeyi. Okay. And the rest of the 12.5% was given again to Sumitra. So now the final question is, how much percentage of share did Sumitra get?
25%.
37.5.
Yeah, I want more people to answer.
35.
How much did Sumitra get?
37.5.
Yeah, that's right. All right. Yes, very good. Okay, big round of applause. Okay, big round of applause to all the correct answers. That's right. So 50% was for Kaushalya and 37.5%, 25% plus 12.5% for Sumitra and 12.5% for Kaikeyi. So Kaushalya got Lord Ramachandra. Sumitra got 25% plus 12.5%, right? So who is that? So that is Lakshmana and Kshatrigna, right? Lakshmana and Shatrugna. And Kaikeyi got Bharat Maharaj. Okay, so that's how Lord Rama, Lakshmana, Bharata, and Shatrugna were born. Okay, so the names also, they indicate a lot. There's a lot of meaning behind these names. Okay, Rama, I already explained you. Rama indicates the absolute truth. What is Rama? Ramante yoginev anante. Satyanande chidatmani iti Rama padanesau paradbrahmabi diyate. That means Lord Rama, this name Rama indicates the supreme absolute truth. It is a pleasure that the yogis are enjoying. You see, the materialistic people, they are enjoying materialistic pleasure. The spiritual people, they are enjoying the spiritual pleasure. The highest spiritual pleasure is Rama. Okay, that's Rama. Now, what is the name of Lakshmana? So the name Lakshmana, Lakshmano Lakshmi Sampanna. Lakshmano Lakshmi Sampanna. That means, then somebody can ask, that means Lakshmana is having a lot of Lakshmi, but we don't really see that. So what is that wealth that Lakshmana has got? Can anybody guess what is the wealth that Lakshmana has got? What is that Aishwarya? What is the wealth? What is that Lakshmi that Lakshmana has got? Who is Lakshmi Sampannaha? Lakshmano Lakshmi Sampannaha. What is that wealth? That wealth is, it's not knowledge.
Love for Rama.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's, you're close. It is the Rama Sevaka Aishwaryam. Rama Seva Aishwaryam. That means it is the treasure of service of Lord Ramachandra. So Lakshmana was always ready to serve Lord Ramachandra. So that was his treasure. So that treasure that Lakshmana had was the seva, the service of Lord Ramachandra. Okay. Now, why is the name Bharata came? Bharata means Rajya Bharanaha iti Bharataha. Rajya Bharana means, because it was already predicted that Bharata at one point of time has to bear, or he has to take care of Lord Rama's kingdom. It was not an easy task for him, because it was belonging to Lord Ramachandra. He never felt that now that my brother is out of the way, it's such a wonderful opportunity for me, let me become the king. So people of Kali Yuga, the kings of Kali Yuga would do the same thing. Don't you agree that? You see, I tell you, how many of you heard of the king Ashoka? Type me in the chat. We heard about Ashoka the Great. That's what we heard about him, right? I'll tell you about his history. Ashoka, the so-called Ashoka the Great, the real history, the actual history says this, that Ashoka, he had 99 stepmothers. That is, his father had 99 wives. Okay, he had many, many wives. And then to come to power, this so-called great Ashoka, he killed all of his 99 stepbrothers. He killed all of them, and then he became the king. And everybody say that after the battle of Kalinga, he became peaceful. But the fact is, he did not. He continued to do fighting. It's just a made-up story. Okay, it's not a real story. The actual history is this. You see, no, why I'm connecting that is, you see, the kings of Kali Yuga are like this, and then we glorify them. They are in our textbooks and we glorify them. But the actual kings who are supposed to be glorified, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he is not there in our textbooks. You see? You see, when Lord Ramachandra went to the exile. Yeah? Hare Krishna.
One addition, actually, they say in my book, my social book, it's written that Ashoka became Buddhist after the Kalinga War.
Yeah, they
But
say that, but
actually, he was Buddhist way more before, like
that's
before
right.
all the
He
Kalinga
was a Buddhist
before he even
before
became
that.
king, he was Buddhist.
That's true. Before
Yeah,
even
he
before
was
the
a
war, he
Buddhist
was a
way before
Buddhist.
even.
That's right. He was a Buddhist even before that. He was a namesake religionist. That's it. He was not serious about religion. He was just
Krishna
talking.
Prabhuji, some speech is cutting. It is not clear,
My
Prabhuji.
voice is cutting. Is my
Yes,
voice okay?
yes,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna. Is my voice okay? It's clear. Yes.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah. All right. So let's continue. So the reason why I said that example is like to give you a negative example. You see, when Lord Ramchandra went to exile, okay, Bharat Maharaj could have very easily, it was such a brilliant opportunity. Come on, think about it. The king who is supposed to become the king, the elder brother, that is like he's a step brother. Okay, he's not the same mother's son also. Very easy, eliminated out of the way. He's in the forest now. I mean, if somebody in this Kali Yuga, they will get that person killed also. Do you agree? They'll get them first, get them killed. So that there's nobody, there's no competition. Finish. No, Bharat Maharaj could have become the king. But no, Bharat Maharaj did not want to do that. He said, this kingdom belongs to Lord Ram. How many brothers do you find in this age like that? So this Ramayana is relevant for every age. It is actually instructive because the mentality of people of Kali Yuga, the sages knew very well. And Lord Ramchandra knows very well all the mentality of people of Kali Yuga, how they are, to counteract that Kali, that is the impurities of this age. We have to hear Ramayana. So then there'll be some purification that will happen within us. Okay, it's a process. Ramayana is actually, it's not a book, it's a process. It's a mental process for us. Okay, it's a process that we are going through, which will cleanse us. Okay, how many of you want that? How many of you want to be processed by Ramayana? Type me in the chat. Okay, type me in the chat. How many of you want that purification from Ramayana? All right, that's right. Very good. Okay, so that was Bharataha Rajya Bharanaha. He had to take the weight of Lord Ramchandra. That's why he took the sandals of Lord Rama and he was keeping on his head, and then he was ruling. I mean, he kept his sandals, Lord Ramchandra's sandals, on the kingdom, on the Simhasana, and he never became the king. He loved Rama so much. Now let's hear about Shatrugna. Why did that name Shatrugna came? Shatrugna means Shatrugno Nitya Shatrugnaha. Shatrugno Nitya Shatrugnaha means Shatru means enemy. Shatrugna means he is like the conqueror of the enemy. He is the conqueror of the enemies. Okay. So we see that in Ramayana there is a situation where there is a demon who was killed by Shatrugna in the Mathura. Mathura, there was one king, and Lord Ramchandra instructs Shatrugna to go there and kill that demon, and then he installs him as the king of that Mathura, Shatrugna. That's what happens. This is one of the stories. All right. So that was about the birth of Lord Ramachandra. Okay. So now let us just hear some interesting facts about Lord Ramchandra and some of the pastimes that he did, etc., etc., etc. Okay. So I'll tell you some of the interesting things about the kingdom of Lord Ramachandra. Okay, so how was the kingdom like of Lord Ramachandra? That is Rama Raja. We call it Rama Raja, right? So how was that Rama Raja? Let us just see that. So the Rama Raja was very, very interesting place because, it was like completely free from diseases. Okay, just imagine right now, how is our situation like? We have pandemics every year. We have so many vaccines. We have so many problems, endemics, pandemics, and so many different kinds of diseases. So, but that place, Rama Raja was completely disease free. Okay, type in the chat DF, disease free. How many of you would like to stay in a kingdom which is free of diseases? Nobody was getting diseased also. Okay, there was no disease at all. DF. And then something interesting was that even the old people, they were not dying. So only if they want to die, they will die. It's like they're not forced to die. If there's somebody old, they can still continue to live. I mean, only when they feel that, okay, it's enough. I think I should go now. Okay. I think I should go now. Only then they will be dying. So it is only then they will die. So that's one feature of Lord Ramchandra. And then the pregnant women, they used to give birth to disease-free kids. So how many of you would like a state where the kids are free from disease? the newborn babies are not having any kind of diseases. How many of you would like that? Type me in the chat. Okay, that's a very nice society, isn't it? And the men, they were hale and healthy, and the people, most importantly, they were happy. How many of you know what is the happiness index rating of India? Type in the chat. Let me see. Out of the 147 countries, what is the happiness index of our country, India? Type in the chat. Yes, please. 147. Okay, let us just guess. What is the ranking of India? Guess. 147 countries. What is our ranking? Is it, maybe it is a top 10? Okay, maybe top 10, maybe too much. We top 50 should be top 50, top 60, top 70, top 80, top 90, top 100. Not even 100. 70. It's 125. The ranking is, type in the chat, 125. 125 out of 147. That's our ranking. That means we are not so happy. Okay, it's ranking. First rank means the best. Finland is the number one. Okay, like that. So we are in 125. Okay, 125. But that's okay. We have Lord Ram. Okay, we can still be happy. 125, but still we can be happy. But the fact is, right now the society is not happy. Yeah, that ranking could have been rigged. Yeah, it is a little exaggerating rank. I understand that. It's a little too exaggerated. I don't think we're so bad. 125. At least, yeah, somebody put 70. It could be 70, 60. I agree. Can't be 125 for sure. But we don't know what's the kind of, they have got some parameters and they did that. Fine. Anyways, the point is, I don't think that our society is really very happy. At least we cannot be happy without Lord Ramchandra. So we have forgotten Lord Rama. We can never be happy. Okay. And it's not about wealth. Okay. It's about that wealth that Lakshmana has, right? Lakshmano Lakshmi Sampanaha. The wealth of the service to Lord Ramchandra is the real wealth. The unfortunate situation is, neither do we have wealth, nor do we have the wealth of the service of Lord Ramchandra. No, none of them. Okay. So when we have Lord Ramachandra, naturally, as a consequence of that, we will have his consort. His consort is Sita Devi, who is Lakshmi herself. Lakshmi is the goddess of what? Type in the chat. Lakshmi is the goddess of what? Goddess of
Fortune.
fortune.
Wealth.
Goddess of fortune, goddess of wealth. So when you have Lord Rama, naturally the goddess of fortune will be with us. All right? Okay. So that was about Rama Raja. It was a very nice place to be. It was the best place for all the entrepreneurs, businessmen, employees, workers, anybody. Okay. It's a very nice place to be because the taxes were low and they were happy. There was meritocracy and the clouds were showering rains. There were a lot of grains. There was so much of wealth there. Everybody were happy. All right. Now let us come to the secret story of Ramayana. Okay. Type secret in the chat. Let's come to the secret story of Ramayana. This is like really a secret. This is kind of, this story is kind of protected by Yoga Maya. You see, Yoga Maya is the illusory potency of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, which does not reveal the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Okay, it sometimes hides things. So it's not in the public. Okay, it's like a very confidential story and a very authentic story of Valmiki Ramayana, whom anybody can think anything. The scholars can say anything. We don't care. But this is there in Valmiki Ramayana, the original, and we accept it. And it's very much in line with our philosophy. All right. So let me tell you this story. All right. So let us see this. So King Ravana, he was a demoniac king. And then he was the half brother of Kubera. Kubera was the treasurer of the demigods. So he defeated Kubera and then he took Pushpaka Vimana, that is a big airplane, and then he forcibly snatched it away from his elder brother. And then he went and he fought with Yamaloka, he went to the Surya Loka, Chandra Loka, and Indra Loka. He defeated everybody possible. Everybody possible. All right. One day, what happened was, he happened to meet This was even before Lord Ramachandra was born. When was this story happened? This story happened long before Ramachandra was born. Ravana was there from a long time. Okay, Ravana was there from a long time. So long before Lord Ramachandra was born, Ravana, he meets the son of Lord Brahma, Sanat Kumara. Okay, one of the four Kumaras, right? Lord Brahma, his first four sons are also called as the four Kumaras. Type 4 in the chat. Four Kumaras. His four Kumaras are Sanaka, Sanatana, Sanandana, and Sanat Kumara. So whom did he meet? He met Sanat Kumara. He met Sanat Kumara. He paid obeisances to him. This Ravana paid obeisances to the Sanat Kumara, and he asked some questions. So what are the questions that he asked? He asked, under whose shelter do the demigods attain victory? Who is the best among the demigods? He's asking, see, you see, the demigods are always victorious. We know that. Whenever the demigods and the demons fight, 90% of the time, demigods win. And what's the reason for that? He wanted to find out, why is it that demigods always win? He wanted to find out. Demigods are always winning. Why? Under whose shelter are they? So who is the best among all of these demigods? And who are the Brahmanas always worshipping? Who are the yogis meditating upon? He's asking all of these questions. Okay. And then when these questions were asked, Sanat Kumara was very pleased by the questions, and Sanat Kumara started to answer. Started to say that Sri Mahavishnu is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Okay. Type SPOG in the chat. Sri Mahavishnu is SPOG, Supreme Personality of Godhead. Type SPOG in the chat. And he said, you see, all the demons and the demigods pray to Mahavishnu. And he's called as Hari. Anybody thought why? Anybody knows why he's called Hari? Hari means remover. What does Hari remove? What does he remove? What does Hari remove? By my Guru Maharaj's mercy, I got the name Hari, Sri Hari. My Guru Maharaj named me Sri Hari. My name was Sridhar. He gave me Sri Hari. Wonderful. So, what does Hari mean? Hari means he removes all the sinful reactions. He will remove the sinful reactions. That's why he is called as Hari. All right. And then he said, Lord Brahma comes from the navel of this Mahavishnu. So Brahma is coming from Mahavishnu, and the universe creation, we know that Brahma is doing the creation, but the original creation, the Visarga is done. That is a secondary creation is done by Brahma, the primary creator of the Mahatattva and the universe, Brahmanda. Anybody knows who it is? Who is the primary creator? Type in the chat. Let me see. Even before Brahma, the creation was there. Even before Brahma, Brahmanda was there. Brahma only comes and creates a 14 planetary systems. Vishnu, Mahavishnu is the original creator. So that's what Sanat Kumara says. And then he says that, you see, this Sanat Kumara, this Lord Brahma, he is the original creator. And all the moving and the non-moving things in the world, not only that, all the universes are created by him. You see, there's a very beautiful verse in Brahma Samhita, okay, which talks about Mahavishnu, who is breathing. Okay, Mahavishnu is breathing. And then all the universes are coming from him. Did you know that? All the universes are coming from Mahavishnu. And this Mahavishnu is, when he breathes in and breathes out, when he is breathing in, right? One inhalation and exhalation, when he inhales, all the universes enter into him. And when he exhales, from the pores of the skin of Mahavishnu, each and every universe comes out. That's not Garbhodakashaya Vishnu, Mahavishnu. Mahavishnu is Karanodakashaya Vishnu. Okay, from Lord Vishnu, Mahavishnu, Karanodakashaya Vishnu, all the universes come out from the skin pores of his body. All right. So that's Mahavishnu. And then he's saying, you see, the scholars are performing fire sacrifice to Vishnu. So the fire sacrifice, yajna, Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Bhoktaram Yajna Tapasam Sarva Loka Maheshwaram. Bhoktaram Yajna Tapasam Sarva Loka Maheshwaram. That means Krishna is the Bhokta of the Yajna. That means all the fire sacrifices are actually taken by Lord Vishnu. Right? And therefore he's saying all the Puranas, all the Vedas, and the Pancharatra Agamas are used by people for worshipping Lord Vishnu only. The purpose of all the Puranas, the purpose of all the Vedas, the purpose of all the Agamas is to understand Vishnu. How do we know that? In Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says, Vedaischa sarvair aham eva vedyo. Vedaischa sarvair. That means among all the Vedas, I am to be known. Aham eva vedyo. It is Lord to be known. Lord Vishnu, Lord Krishna is supposed to be known by all the Vedas. And then all the yogis, this is the question that Ravana asked, right? Upon whom are the yogis meditating? The yogis are meditating upon Lord Vishnu. They are meditating upon Lord Vishnu. Eternally, yogis are meditating upon Lord Vishnu. Right? So it is, there's also one Shantakaram Bhujagasayanam Yogi Hridyana Gamya. Right? Vande Vishnu Bhava Bhayaharam. That means Yogi Hridyana Gamya means all the yogis, originally, they are meditating upon Lord Vishnu. In the sixth chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna also says that a yogi must sit down on a deer skin, sit down erect, and close his eyes, half close, and focus on the tip of the nose, and then meditate upon me. That's what Lord Krishna gives instructions in Bhagavad Gita. So eternally, yogis are meditating upon Lord Vishnu. Okay, type in the chat, yogi. Type yogi. All the yogis are meditating upon Lord Vishnu. Type yogi in the chat if you got that. And Lord Vishnu is victorious over all the demons and the enemies of the demigods. Who is empowering the demigods? Whom are the demigods taking shelter of? The demigods always take the shelter of Lord Vishnu. Okay. Everyone worships Lord Vishnu. And then next, Ravana asked a question. Sanat Kumara. So how many of you have seen a different angle of Ravana today that you never expected? Ravana is asking so many intelligent, interesting, Krishna conscious questions. How many of you have seen Ravana in a different angle today? Type me in the chat. Okay, so that's why it's a very secretive story and it's a very, very not so easily found story. Interesting, right? All right. So then Ravana is asking, okay, what is the destination of the demons who are killed in the war? The demons, they go and fight war with the demigods. So what happens to them after death? And can you tell me what happens to those people who are killed personally by Lord Vishnu? What happens to them? Okay. Now, I'm going to ask you a question. You're all students of Bhagavad Gita. You're all students of Bhagavad Gita. Tell me something. What happens to those people who are killed by the demigods? What happens to the... no, just tell me this. What happens to a person at the time of death? No, what happens to a person at the time of death? I mean, how do you decide which place is going? Based on what? Based on what do you decide?
It depends on his mental
Karma,
condition.
not karma. At the time of death, what is that? There's a verse, specific verse in Bhagavad Gita.
The day and
Yamyam
night.
vapi smaranam, like what he's thinking at the time of death is what he gets in the next birth.
Absolutely right. Yam yam vapi smaran tyajatyante kalevaram. Whatever you are thinking about at the time of death, you will attain that. Okay, I'll ask you a simple quiz question. Okay, let us say that, okay, an insect is killed by a frog. Okay, what is going to be the next life of that insect? Likely, most likely. Frog. Because it's thinking about the frog at the time of death. Am I right? So the question asked by Ravana here is, what is going to be the destination of those people who will be killed by the demigods? So the answer given by Sanat Kumara was, they will go to Swargaloka. Because at the time of death, they were killed by the demigods. The demigods are there seeing the demigods and they're remembering demigods, so they'll go to the demigods world, Swargaloka. And what happens after you go to the heavenly planets? So when you go to the heavenly planets, what happens? After some time, what happens? Kshine punye matyalokam vishanti. What does that mean?
We come back again to the earth.
Back to material world.
Back to material world. Back to material world. Back to material world. Means after some time, heavenly planets, what happens? They'll enjoy for some time in the heavenly planets and then fall down. Okay, they'll fall down and then they'll come back to the material world. But then Sanat Kumara says, but if you are killed by Lord Vishnu, if you die in the hands of Lord Vishnu, by his weapons, by him personally, you go back to the spiritual world. You go back to the spiritual world. Right? That's what Krishna says, right? He says, whoever remembers me at the time of death, antakalecha mam eva smaran muktva kalevaram yah prayati samadbhavam. So those who are killed by Lord Vishnu, when Lord Vishnu personally kills the demons, now tell me, what is the destination of the demons who are killed by Lord Vishnu? Where do they go? Type in the chat. Where do they go? They go to the heavenly planets, or do they come to the material world, or do they go to the hellish planets, or do they go to the Vaikuntha? Lord Vishnu is killing. They go to Vaikuntha. Okay, tell me, what is the destination of Shishupala? What happened to Shishupala?
Brahmajyoti.
Brahmajyoti. What happened to Kamsa?
Back to Godhead.
Back to Godhead. What happened to Aghasura?
Aghasura went back. Like he went back to Godhead.
Back to Godhead. So all the demons who were killed by Lord, they go back to Godhead. Okay. So Vaikuntha. So that's what he said, that, if you're killed by Lord Vishnu, you'll go back to Godhead. But those who are killed by the demigods, they can only go to the Swargaloka. Based on their karma, they have to come back again. And then Ravana was very happy to hear this. And then he asked, now, how can I fight with Lord Vishnu? Can you tell me, how can I fight with Lord Vishnu? Then Sanat Kumara said, yes, you can fight with him, but you'll have to wait for some time. Lord Vishnu is inconceivable. You cannot see him. He's subtle. He's all pervasive. It is not possible that Lord Vishnu, you will go and shout, Lord Vishnu, come and fight with me. He'll come. No, it's not possible to see him. Okay. So Lord Vishnu is subtle, inconceivable. He cannot be perceived through senses. Adhokshaja. Adhokshaja means you cannot see him through your senses. With your eyes, you cannot see him. With your ears, you cannot hear him. He's the oldest. Adyam Purana Purusham Navayapanam Cha. He's the oldest of the oldest. Kavim Puranam Anushasitaram. Anoraniyam. That means Kavim Puranam Anushasitaram means he is the oldest person. And he is the smallest, tiniest person. And he is all pervading Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is the Omkara. And he is the sun, he is the earth. And then he continues to say, he says, he is the morning, he is the light of the sun, he is the light of the moon, he is the morning, he is the night, he is the two Sandhyas, he is the sun, the moon, Yama, Kala, the time is Lord Vishnu, the Vayu is Vishnu, fire, Brahma, Shiva, Indra, water, everything is Lord Vishnu. Okay. So type in the chat, Vishnu in the chat. Type Vishnu in the chat. Okay. So this is all glories of Lord Vishnu going on. Say he is indestructible Lord of the universe. He is the indestructible Lord of the universe. He is the oldest person. He can extinguish the difficulties of all the universe. And then he is the creator. He is the destroyer. He is the maintainer. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Ham adischa madhyamcha antamevacha. That means he says, I am the beginning, I am the end, I am the middle of the universe. So creation is from me, destruction is by me, maintenance is by me. How is that? The Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara are all the incarnations, Guna Avatara of the Lord Vishnu, Supreme Personality of God. They are not different. They are actually the incarnations meant for creation, destruction, and the maintenance. So everything is done by him. And then he says, how does he look like? He looks like a dark cloud and his eyes are like that of a lotuses, fully open lotuses. That's what we say, Rajiva Netraya Ramachandraya Nama. Rajiva Netra means very beautiful red eyes, like that of the lotuses. And then he looks like a moon. That's why we call him Ramachandra. Ramachandra. And then nobody can see him unless he reveals himself. So if he decides that I must be shown to him, then only he'll come. Now tell me, how is it possible? What is going on? How is Ravana doing all of this? Now, let's go back to a little bit of history, okay? Who is Ravana? Who is Ravana? Who is Ravana in his past life? Can anybody tell me who is Ravana in his past life? Who is Ravana in his past?
Jai or Vijay?
Jaya Vijaya, one of the two.
Jai Vijay.
He
One
is
of-
Jaya and Vijaya. Let me remind you that past time. We discussed this recently, the last week. Let me tell you the story quickly. The same thing, Jaya Vijaya and Sanat Kumara, right? So the same thing, right? Do you remember? See what happened. See, Sanat Kumara is instructing to Ravana. It's not strange because who cursed Jaya Vijaya? Tell me who cursed Jaya Vijaya?
Sanat Kumaras.
They only
The four
cursed, right?
Kumaras.
Yes, they cursed. So what happened? What was the story? One day, these four Kumaras, they wanted to see Lord Vishnu in Vaikunta. So they crossed the 6 doors, 7 doors of Vaikunta, 6 doors they crossed. 7th door, they were stopped by the doorkeepers, Jaya and Vijaya. Jaya and Vijaya are stopping them and saying, you cannot go inside. And these 4 small children, they get very angry and then they curse that you people, you will actually come down to the material world and you'll become demons. Then what happened? Lord Vishnu came running outside. Lord Vishnu comes along with Lakshmi Devi outside and then he praises this Sanaka Sanandana, 4 Kumaras, and he says, please give me mercy and please be merciful and reduce their stay in the material world. I want them to be back soon. I don't want them to suffer there. So can you please give them some concession that they are fighting with me and they're coming back? I mean, this is called as union in anger. Okay, kamat, krodhat, bhayat, snehat. That means the Supreme Lord can be attained by kama, by lusty desires, or krodha, even by anger, or bhaya, or by fear, sneha, or by friendship. Kamat, by lusty desires, by the gopis. Krodhat means anger. So anger means just like how Ravana was angry on Ramachandra. Bhayat, Kamsa was very fearful of Lord Krishna. Bhayat, Snehat. Snehat is friendship, like Arjuna is a good friend of Lord Krishna, right? So, but then this is not the standard advice for us. The acharyas don't recommend us to go and become an enemy of Lord Vishnu. The actual bhakti is sanukulyena krishnanushilam bhakti ruchate. Means sanukulyena means favorable devotional service is the right way. We should not try to become like Ravana because Ravana said, okay, so if I'm going to fight with Lord Vishnu, I'm going to go back to him fast. So let me fight with him. So that was his stand. He's a different person. Okay, he's Jaya and Vijaya. They're coming from Vaikunta and they want to go back fast. So, and they were instructed by Narada and Sanat Kumara for doing. We are not instructed like that by our spiritual masters. Our spiritual master said, Anukulena Krishnanushilana. We have to chant the names of Lord Rama and Lord Krishna. We don't have to become the enemy of Lord Vishnu. Okay, just trying to tell you some concept there. Okay, now coming back to the point here. So that's the backstory that happened. So these 4 Kumaras, they cursed the Jaya and Vijaya. And then this Jaya and Vijaya, first of all, they became Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu in the Satya Yuga. In the Treta Yuga, they were Ravana and Kumbhakarna, who were killed in the hands of Lord Ramchandra. It's actually a pastime. It is all a pastime. So now Ravana is asking the Sanat Kumara, who actually cursed him, right? And then he's asking them, like, who is the Supreme Lord? And how can I go back to Godhead? So then that's what Sanat Kumara is actually saying. Nobody can see him unless he reveals himself. Then Ravana asks, so how am I going to fight with him? So then he says, don't worry, just wait. That Supreme Personality of Godhead is going to be incarnating as Lord Ramachandra. Okay, Ramchandra Bhagavan ki Jai, Jai Shri Ram. Type Jai Shri Ram in the chat. Okay, Lord is going to take birth in the next 2 days, day after tomorrow, Ram Navami. Type Jai Shri Ram in the chat. Jai Shri Ram. Okay, Jai Shri Ram. So Lord is taking birth. Okay, so that Supreme Personality of Godhead has taken birth as Lord Ramachandra. Okay, then that's when Ravana picks up enmity with Lord Rama. And then somehow he picks up enmity. And then he makes sure that he becomes the enemy of Lord Ramchandra. And then he makes sure that there is a war with him. And he never accepts the truce. And that's how This entire Ramayana story happens, and then finally Ravana is killed in the hands of Lord Ramachandra. Okay, that's the story. And then the interesting part is Lord Ramachandra, he is a Leela Purushottama, Maryada Purushottama. Correct? Maryada Purushottama. Lord Krishna is Leela Purushottama. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Prema Purushottama. So he is listening to this story when Agastya Muni is telling this story that you see, like this Ravana, I mean, this is after in the Uttarakhand, this is completely after the war. This is what Agastya Rishi is telling to Rama and all of his brothers and everybody. He's saying, actually, this is what has happened. That Ravana, he went to Sanat Kumara and he found out Lord Vishnu. And then he found out that Lord Vishnu is incarnating as Ramachandra. And that's why he picked up war with you and fight with you. And that's why he died in your hands. And Lord Ramachandra is hearing. Is it really? Lord Ramachandra is hearing. Okay. So it's his pastime. Because he has come as a human being, it's a humanly pastimes. When Lord takes up any pastime, he does it very perfectly. How many of you agree that? Right? So he is hearing astonished. Is it really so? Wow, this is very interesting. Something like that. He's hearing as if he doesn't know anything. He knows everything. Okay. Lord Ramchandra is a supreme personality of Godhead. And he knows everything. He knows the heart of everybody. And he's he's actually the Paramatma, the supreme, what do you say, the super soul who is there within the heart of every living entity. And to actually chant the names of Lord Ramachandra is the eternal religious principle. We define religious principle as this, religious principle as that, religion is this, religion is maybe feeding the dogs. Okay, all of that is religion, fine. But the original religion is chanting the names of Lord Ramachandra. Okay, that's the thing. Okay, and then there's a very beautiful verse which says, Ramadi Murtishu Kala Niyamena Tishtan Nanavataram Akarod Bhuvaneshu Kintu Krishna Swayam Samabhavat Paramah Puman Yo Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajam. That means I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, who manifested himself personally as Krishna, and the different avatars in the world in the form of Rama, Nrisimha, Vamana, etc. as his subjective portions. So when Lord Krishna himself is taking the different incarnations as Rama, Nrisimha, Vamana, etc. All of this. So Lord Ramachandra and Lord Krishna, there is a relationship. That is, Lord Ramachandra is the Kala Vishesha. That means he is one of the plenary portions of Lord Krishna. Okay, that is the relationship. And then you know what happens? The gopis who were dancing with the Lord Krishna, some of them were actually, did you know that they were the sages of Dandakaranya? So Dandakaranya was the place where Lord Ramchandra stayed along with Sita Devi. At that point of time, there were so many sages who were there. And these sages were very attracted to Lord Ramachandra. And then they said that we want to be able to associate with you very closely. They were so attracted with Lord Ramachandra that we want to be attracted. We want to be in such a loving relationship with you. Just like how lovers are there. We want to be like that with you. Then Lord Ramchandra smiled and he said, it's not possible in this pastime. It is not possible. But I'm giving you an opportunity in the next incarnation when I'm coming as Lord Krishna. At that point of time, you will come as gopis. So these gopis who were dancing with Lord Krishna, they were actually the sages of Dandakaranya. Type in the chat, sages. So these gopis are all the sages of Dandakaranya. Okay. So that's the wonderful pastimes of Lord Ramachandra. So we're going to have this Rama Navami coming up day after tomorrow, a very wonderful occasion. And we all saw in the last Bhakti Ladder meetup the importance of deity worship. You know, what is the importance of worshipping the deities? In that we saw one of the rules of deity worship was that we must celebrate the festivals of Lord. How many of you remember that? Type me in the chat. That there is a rule which says we must celebrate. There is no option. It's not that, okay, if I'm free, I will celebrate. If I'm not free, I will not celebrate. It's not optional. everybody who is a devotee, who wants to be devotee, who wants to do devotional service, who wants to serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead, must celebrate the festivals of Lord. So here is a wonderful, 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 wonderful festival coming up day after tomorrow. So just stop doing whatever you're doing. Doesn't matter however busy you may be, can be any biggest appointment of the world. Just cancel all your appointments. Just give your time to the Lord in his service. Okay, and then go to the temple, visit the temple, try to do, if you can do some service, participate in the festival event in the ISKCON Sheshadripuram. We have a special program which will be there. So please come to the temple and participate in the temple, participate in the kirtan, do any kind of service that you can, and then become an object of mercy of Lord Ramachandra. All right, so Hare Krishna, thank you very much for joining me today for this class. So I would like to just hear from you. What are your realizations and how was it like? What is your realization, or how are you looking forward to celebrate Ramanavami? You can say that. Hare Krishna. So I'd like all of you to unmute yourself and tell me, what are you looking forward to do this Ramanavami? And what did you hear today? Yeah, Hare Krishna, Renuka Mats. Go ahead. If you can turn on your videos, that'll be great, actually. Yes.
Worship Rama and with full of our heart, and then chant Rama's name.
All right. Thank you very much.
Hello?
Wonderful. Very nice. Okay. Worship Rama and chant his names. That's great. Yes. Gangaya Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, Rama is a great, even even earlier that is poor Sanat Kumars, they cursed Jaya Vijaya and they have taken place this thing. That is the whole story. And then because this is so many things we hear today are some of the new things. Very grateful to you for analyzing so much things about Ramayana. Very kind of you, Prabhuji.
Thank
We
you,
will
Prabhu.
worship Rama.
Wonderful.
Thank you very much.
Very
Hare
wonderful.
Krishna.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Yes. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Yes. Anybody wants to share? Yes. Thank you. Valarmati Mataji. Hare Krishna. What are your plans? Swati Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji.
Hello.
Yes, go ahead.
Prabhuji, Wednesday we will go to ISKCON. So we plan for join Ram Navami there.
That's
Yeah.
Jai. Jai. Very nice.
Yeah, Jai, Jai Sri Krishna.
Haribo.
Sri
Haribo.
Ram, Hari Bol.
Wonderful. That's amazing. Komala Mataji, what do you want to do on Ram Navami? What are you doing?
Yes, Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Danvat Pranam to all devotees there. Prabhuji, yes, Ram Navami has always been a special day for me. Yes, in fact, it is a restricted holiday. It's not even a general holiday. So I have applied leave already for that on that day. And yes, definitely I would go to the temple, worship him. And I just wanted to share one, this reminds me of my college days. When I was doing my degree, and this time used to be exam time, right? So during my degree exam, and there was a Ramnavami, this thing festival was there, and the very next day. And the next day was my exam also. So I don't know. That was a final exam. I always go to the temple on Ramnavami day, and I did not study. I mean, the thing is, I attend all the classes and I learn everything, but I wanted to attend this temple this thing also. So I went to the temple. The whole day I spent in the temple, and I did not study anything, and it happened to be a final exam. And there's a lot of things, Abhisheka, and the whole day I spent there. And then evening I realized that I did not study anything. So I just remembered, God, see, the whole day I was with you. You only have to help me. And the very next day, the exam, the paper came out to be so easy. I did not study also. I just slept off like that. And the next day for the exam, it was so damn easy that everything, all were gentle questions that I could write easily. And luckily, fortunately, I got good marks in that.
Yeah,
I was able to
I'm
go.
right.
So that is like a
Haribol,
miracle
very
for me.
nice. Yeah, it's a wonderful miracle. Haribol.
Seriously,
Nice.
Prabhuji, I can never forget. I always say it very proudly that, Sri Ram has been very, very dear to me all the while.
Yeah.
And my nakshatra also happens to be Ram nakshatra, that is Punarvasu. So
Haribol.
some
Okay.
kind of connection, Prabhuji.
Yes.
So
Haribol.
really,
Jai,
very nice.
Jai. Mine too. Haribol. Very nice.
Oh, Hari bol, Prabhuji.
Yes. Hare
That's
Krishna.
nice.
Thank you. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna, Prabhu.
Yes, Mantra Mataji, please tell
Can
me.
I share something, please?
Please, please. Yes.
Before coming to ISKCON, I was connected with Ram Sharan.
Okay.
It was, like we only chanted Ram, 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 and I was initiated there. And it happened like they do not worship the deities, and they just have the name Ram written, and we worship. So then the name of the Lord is so powerful that it shows you the right way of worship also. And then I happened to meet Guru Maharaj, and I happened to know that this is not the right parampara, because it was just started by somebody, and the name of Ram was so powerful that it led me to my Guru Maharaj, who was in the disciple succession, and I came to a concrete Krishna conscious movement, which is started by Prabhupada, and then I understood what was then I and okay, and then Guru Maharaj told me, like, what you're chanting Ram is a very powerful name by itself, but you could always since it was not in the disciplic succession, and then he said, since the Mahapantra had Ram in it, it was right that I could take a guru from the side. So Ram to the Guru and to Mahamantra.
Jai,
This is a
Jai,
realization.
Haribol, Ram to Guru and Guru to
And
Krishna. Amazing. Very nice. Wonderful, Mataji. Very, very beautiful story. Thank you for sharing. Hare Krishna. Premai Kunti
Hare
Mataji, you
Krishna,
want to
thank
say
you.
something? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. I have
Yes.
nothing to share, but yes, on Ramnami Day, I'm planning to prepare a small feast and visit
Jai,
the
we will
temple,
all come to your
Prabhuji.
house. We will all come to your house.
Sure, most welcome, Prabhuji.
Yes.
I'll be waiting for you all.
Hare Krishna. We would
Hare
all like to come to your house then. Okay, wonderful. Jai,
Sure.
wonderful, Mataji.
Hare
I
Krishna,
would love
Prabhu.
to have Vaishnavas in my place.
Ankul Prabhu wants to share something.
Yes, please. Yes. Hare Krishna, Anukul Prabhuji. Dhanyavad Pranam. Please share.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Dhanyavad Pranam.
One minute. हरिबोल बोलूं क्या? कनिका को स्टार्ट कर लेगी? हाँ कनिका स्टार्ट कर ले बेटा. हाँ लगा. Sorry. Prabhu, I'm slightly not well, but Ram, when I studied chanting, they said North India, almost Punjab, Haryana, UP is one part, and in Delhi, the people are chanting Ram Ram, like, or woolen beads, actually, woolen mala. And I tell you frankly, one of my best part of spiritual life was that one time also. I enjoyed so much chanting of Ram. I used to chant 24 hours almost, you can say.
Wow.
And
Haribol.
even sleeping also, I used to chant. Actually, from my mouth used to come Ram Ram. Actually, I was so much observing Ram Dev.
Haribol.
So, Lord Dev has, I seen, frankly tell you, I seen potency itself, myself, I can say. I enjoyed the kind of potency of Lord while chanting actually. So, Lord Dev, whatever Krishna, Ram, same potency. There is no difference between Ram and Mahamana has both. So, we should chant as much as, and it that Lord Dev itself start revealing to us actually his potency. And I could have reading book. I used to read Ramayana, and you can hear chanting is going inside of my heart, and I can read book also. That was that time of my level of chanting I used to have. Anyway, that was the phase. But I fell down from there. That is a different issue. From I came down, then I met Guru. My chanting reduced. Then I met Guru Maharaj. Then I explained. Then he said, "Okay, no problem. You can go back again. Same trance, same thing. You can get it. Try it. Chant nicely. That will happen." So, greeting Krishna and Guru Maharaj mercy will reveal again. That's no problem.
Hari Bol.
Very good.
Hari Bol. Jai Prabhuji. Thank you. So wonderful. Very nice, interesting story. Thank you for sharing that. So first you are chanting Lord Rama's name so much that even in your night, even dreams also you're chanting names of Lord Ram. That's very nice. Then later you met Guru Maharaj, and then now you're chanting Hare Krishna. You are actually leading wonderful Krishna consciousness movement, inspiring all of us. Thank you so much for all the work that you do. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Okay, Swayam Prabha Mataji, Hare Krishna. You want to say something? What's your plan for Ram Navami? Nitya Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dhanvat Pranam.
Dandavad.
Prabhuji, visiting temple and, every Ram Navami, my mother prepares a sumptuous lunch. We offer it to the Lord and have it. And visiting
Okay.
temple, yes, that's what I'm going to do, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Jai. Wonderful. Renuka Mataji, you wanted to say something?
Usually every day I chant Prabhuji Rama Raksha Stotra. Every
Okay.
day I chant. That gives
Okay.
me really peace. I feel very peaceful. Maybe on Ram Navami I may say Rama Raksha Stotra 108 times. I'm thinking.
Okay, that's nice. Ramaya, Ramabhadraya, Ramachandraya, Vedase, Raghunathaya, Nathaya,
Yes.
Sitaya, Pataye Namaha, Jai Shri Ram, Hare Krishna, Amrita Mataji, Hare Krishna. You want to say something?
Thank you.
Lakshit Prabhu?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Hare Krishna.
As usual, recite more shlokas than Rama,
Okay.
and we make a special food on that day, like panagam and neer more, we call it. So it's
Okay.
specially made on that day, yeah, and offer to
Okay.
gods. That's what.
Sure.
That's go to temple. If possible, I'll go to temple because
Sure.
yesterday only I'd gone to temple.
Jai, Jai. Okay, we
Yeah.
will all come to your house for taking that prasadam.
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes, please
Okay.
come.
Okay,
Yeah.
Hare Krishna. Okay. Thank you, devotees. Thank you so much for joining today. And I hope you have a nice festival, a very wonderful festival ahead. 17th of April. Amazing festival. Please come to the temple. ISKCON Sheshadripuram. We have very nice programs lined up. Please come to the temple. Okay. Thank you. Hare Krishna. And I'm signing
Hare
off.
Krishna, Prabhuji.
Meet you again day after tomorrow.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Dhanavad.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Prabhuji.
Prabhuji,
Please,
Dandvat Pranam.
a
Hare
Thank you
Krishna
so
small
much,
request.
Jai
Prabhuji.
Dandvat
Prabhuji.
pranam.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna.
Prabhuji. Danvat
One
Pranam.
doubt, Prabhuji.
Yeah, please go
One,
ahead. Yeah, those of you who want to leave, can leave.
Who
Those
was
of you who want to
Vali?
leave, can.
Who was Vali, Sugriva, and something you told me?
Nala Nila.
yes, yes,
Who are
Prabhuji.
they?
Even the demigods,
But Indra,
Prabhuji, which
Prabhuji.
demigods they represented.
Okay.
Which demigods?
Yeah, sure. Which demigods is Sugriva is Indra. Okay.
Vali?
Vali is
Vali.
Surya, sun god.
Okay, okay.
Okay.
I
So
was
that's
thinking
Vali.
the other
And
way.
actually, you see in Krishna Leela, Karna is sun god, sun. Am I right? And Arjuna is Indra's son. So in Ram Leela, who was the protagonist and who was the antagonist? Sugriva was the hero, and Vali was the villain. So Sugriva is actually, like confused. Sugriva
Prabhuji, I think no, Prabhuji, it's Vali is Indra, and
sorry, right.
that's why I was actually
You're
was
right. You're right.
Yes.
Sorry. Vali is the son of Indra. Sugriva is the son of Lord Sun God. Correct.
Surya.
Surya.
Yes, Prabhuji.
And in the Krishna Lila, opposite. So the antagonist is Karna, son of Surya. And the protagonist hero is Arjuna, Indra. So Lord is balancing, giving one role every time for each of the demigod, so that they don't feel bad. Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you so much, devotees. Hare Krishna. See you again day after tomorrow. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Happy Ram
Thank
Navami
you.
to all devotees and Prabhuji.
Thank you. Happy Ram Navami to you too in advance.
Hare Krishna, Danvat Pranam.